meetings in October, but I don't know the exact dates, and that's, I think I heard that enough that it has to be true now. When they'll publicly announce that, obviously the sooner the better. It has to be,
platform is changed, UI is being changed,
and then it's going to be
kind of application. I don't know. Have anyone done any speak page implementations? I know Josh has done it, but what's Speak? Speak is a Sitecore process enablement and accelerator kit. Using Speak, you can build several applications with a consistent interface and quickly develop them using the existing components and things like that, right? And with Sitecore, now there is a launchpad. So when you log into Sitecore, you immediately invite a presenter with the launchpad, which have a bunch of applications out of the box. In the past, like if you wanted to install Sitecore, you have to go and install other modules that complement Sitecore platform. Now with the Sitecore 8, and a lot of the models that comes out of the box, like Federated Experience Manager, Social Connector module, and there are other editors. I don't know, there's a lot of name change going on here, right? Sitecore, when it was 6.5, 6.6, it was called Sitecore Engagement Platform, called Customer Engagement Platform, CEP. It changed it into, now it's called SXM, I believe, Sitecore Experience Platform. So there's a lot of name change, and then if any of you have used Sitecore 7 and Sitecore 6, the name, now the page editor is called Experience Editor. And then Engagement Analytics is called Experience Analytics. And there is Experience Profile, which is a new thing where we'll go in more detail in a minute. But there's a lot of name change. You got to get a little used to it when you're starting doing in Sitecore 8. So we're going to talk about Federated Experience Manager, what that is, Email Experience Manager, what is the Social Connector module, and there is a big thing called XP. What's XP? Okay. When you log into Sitecore now, like it's a big refresh now. You know, back in when I started by Sitecore, which is 6.0, it's the same movement until Sitecore 8. Sitecore 8 it completely changed with the UI, and now the login screen is more refreshing, more inviting, and then once you log in, you present it with a launchpad. In the past, you have an option to select. You want to go to a desktop, or you want to go to the page editor, you want to use the content editor, but no, now you present it with the launchpad. Where within the launchpad, as you can see, most of the options over here is all out of the box. Like you present it with the Federated Experience Manager, Experience Analytics, Experience Profile. There's a List Manager, which is a segment builder. There's a content editor, Experience Editor, Media Library Workbox. And there's another section called Social Model, which is again an out-of-the-box application. If you have used Experience Editor, which is happened to be called Page Editor in the past, now the Experience Editor, the UI is all driven by Speak-based applications. All the ribbon is completely changed. You might need to get a little used to how the Experience Editors are. It's very similar, but gotta get a little used to how the Experience Editor behaves. And then the next one is Experience Analytics. If you have used DMS in the past, and DMS, Digital Marketing Suite, and now it's called XDB, right? With DMS and XDB, now you separate, you get with Experience Analytics, where now within the dashboard, you can see more of, it gives you the overview of all the key analytics about what Sitecore captures within the collection database. And then within audience, helps you gain an understanding of who your visitors are, and then the behaviors, helps you analyze the behaviors of your visitors. You can get their personalized strategy and things like that, and the conversions. And if you look at all these data, they're all, before the engagement analytics is all very basic analytics, and now it's not built using, it's more HTML based. Now this is all speaker based applications. And it gives you more Google Analytics type data. Before, you have to go to Google to get the conversions and things like that. Whereas now, you can see the same type of metrics and even more better metrics than what Google is. Google can provide that to you. Experience profile. This is an interesting thing where in the past, you go to the engagement analytics and then you click on a visitor and then it takes them to give you a list of who they are and things like that. Whereas if you click on experience profile, you can actually search by the name of, if you classified a user, and you can search by their name, you can search by the email address and find out from the list and get more details about it. When you start the new Sitecore 8 application, it gives you them as an anonymous visitor, and once you classify them, you get their actual names and things like that, right? So the anonymous visitors becomes a contact for Sitecore 8, where within the contact, in the past, you have to go through a lot of hoops to find out what your contact has done. You can, if it is an engagement email campaign manager, you got to go to open up your engagement automation and open up your visitors and find out what they have done within your site. But now you can search by the contact and go and look at their whole details about their contact. You can even tag a picture about who they are, and so you can quickly find them. And then all their latest events, and you can look at what their activities are, how they are ranking up in the visitors within the site, and if they have done any social media integration, like going to Facebook and tweeting about you, and or they shared, clicked on a social media link within your Sitecore 8's implementation site, those get tracked too, and you can see their activities within the site. So this is what Sitecore 8 is about, right? So you find who the contact is. The contact becomes your customer. The customers becomes more, they become a customer, and then you have to start providing more details to those customers and make them generate more revenue, ROI for your site. So this is a more important stuff for marketers for the site that runs Sitecore 8. Federated Experience Manager. This is another new thing within the Sitecore 8 and comes out of the box. This kind of is a separate model back in 7.5, but it's inbuilt as part of the out-of-the-box model. Federated Experience Manager is where you can, for a non-Sitecore sites, you might have a legacy website that is running. We have a plan to have a portal site, which is not on Sitecore, where we can actually tag some script language within that. And now you can start tracking all the analytics within your Sitecore website. And you can also change the presentation of that non-Sitecore implementation sites with more details. And you can track all the details over within Federated Experience Manager. Email Experience Manager. It used to be called Email Campaign Manager. In an email campaign manager, if you have done back in 6.5, 6.6 time frame, it started with the ECM 1.0, very basic target audience, recipient list, and then they changed it to ECM 2.0, where it's more speak-driven application, and that was a little game changer. Now it's not going to be like 2.0, 3.0. Now it's going to be along the same line of the major version, which is Sitecore 8. Now it's called ECM 8.0, where it's more analytics driven, and it's all based speak. Again, speak is the big thing. If you have done sheer UI based application in the past, but now all the application that you can generate within the Sitecore 8 is going to be on speak, and that's something that a Sitecore developer needs to understand that and start implementing them. And there are a lot of information about how you can add them back to your launchpad and make it enable that and things like that. Okay. Next thing we wanted to talk about is experience database. XDB. What's XDB? It's not just a database, right? It's the DMS is changed into a new name for XDB. XDB is A data is a platform that collects all your online and offline data and store them in a collection database. And this is again a game changer, right? It started in Sitecore 7.5. The XDB was introduced in Sitecore 7.5, where using a Mongo NoSQL database as a platform to collect all your analytics data, because seen in the past is like some of your analytic data is a more aggregator within the SQL Server. The performance is a little time-consuming sometimes, so they Sitecore changed to use the Mongo database as their collection database. Okay. That's what XDB and all your personalization or your any persona-driven implementation that you're doing, all those data about the visitor is all going to be stored in your Mongo database. And then there is different implementations, like there's a processing server, there's an aggregation server, there's a reporting server, which takes the information from the Mongo database, which is the collection database, and aggregate them into a reporting database. And all those analytics that you saw before, which is the experience analytics or in engagement analytics or in the profile cards, those are actually coming from the reporting database, which is an aggregation of the non-linear, non-SQL collection database, and it's represented nicely in the reporting database. That's another, it's a little big puzzle what XDB is. Since it's a little game changer, the architecture is changed. Anyone that gets Sitecore 8 or 7.5, there's a little change in your server architecture. Like, now we got 3 different ways a customer has a buying option. Like if they wanted to use Sitecore 8, you got to use possible there is a XDB Cloud Edition, which is Sitecore has a subscription model where you don't need to worry about like having an infrastructure internally. Client doesn't need to have experience on Mongo or anything, but based on their visitors, you have 3 different options called Base plus Premium, which has like 2,500 contacts or 25,000 or 25 million contacts. It contacts is each individual visitor that coming to your site. So that's based on that you can purchase that, or there is an option on XDB on-prem, where again there is an additions. Plus it comes with additional processing servers and things like that. You can contact the Sitecore partner, the sales reps or the Sitecore team to get more details on what those licensing costs are. The reason I'm wanting to show this to you here is because with the Sitecore 8, we developers need to understand there is something else called Mongo, and that's not a typical SQL server. And some of those collection data are not going to be in the SQL server. You can write a query to go find what the automation states or anything like that. Now we gotta have expertise on understanding Mongo and go to the location where the Mongo database is hosted. So depends upon the end clients, they can take the cloud edition or the prime edition. There's an Ultra edition, which is mostly for customers who purchase Sitecore prior to Jan 1st, 2015. So that's a big thing that we need to consider when you're moving into Sitecore 8. I want to show a quick demo on all these things that we looked at, so that way we can see on real time on what Sitecore 8 looks like. All right. Start from here. So here's what we presented with it's like a login screen, and I guess everyone know what the password is. Who knows what the password is? B. All right. I'm not sure why it is B. John, do you know?
Come on, John. Give us the answer.
Any why question, I defer to somebody else.
It's like, is it A, B, maybe? So, but that's B anyway. Any Sitecore developer who goes in, like, know what the password is. If it's a default, that's what that is. So now you presented with the launch applications, where you can see we have the email campaign manager is another module that you have to install. But other than that, all the other modules over here is all out of the box. You can see that the experience analytics that we talked about over here, where you have all those different audiences, acquisition, behavior, emotion, all those metrics that you saw here, over here, and all the different, out of the box. It comes with, I think, over 50 different reports that you can get out of the box with Sitecore A. You can still customize them, again, using Speak and using the reporting language that comes with Sitecore A. You can customize them and get a metric that is more familiar with what the client wants. You can still customize them, but out of the box is more sufficient to get most of the information that you need. And here's what the overview of the audience dashboard looks like. Thumbs up. There we go. And then acquisition dashboard. Just like that. So moving on, for more of a content author perspective. And now something called, there's two different things for a CMS perspective, which is one is the content editor, and then there is experience editor, which happens to content editor. They didn't change the name, which is good, right? And the experience editor is what we used to call as page editor. A little bit different. There used to be like arrow down to see whether they want to contribute or something. But one of the big things is the Explore editor. So Explore is the Explore manager where you can mimic the visitors. Like if you are putting some personalization rules and creating profile cards, you want to see how the site behaves for the type of visitor persona. And now Explore editor comes out of the box. Content editor, there are two ways you can go to the content editor, right? There is desktop, see if there's an arrow down there. Alright, so there is content editor and there is also desktop. So most of the content developers try to go through desktop where you can get everything that you want. So I'm going to go to the desktop mode, and as you can see, it looks, the UI is changed again. The UI is changed, the look and feel is changed, but the underlying architecture on how the content will behave is still the same. You still got the same options, like do a right click and looking at the insert options. That is still the same, nothing changed, but the UI is a little different. So for example, if you go to the content editor, again, you're presented with a speed-based ribbon, but it gives you all those options that the content editor would have in the past. One of the big things within Sitecore A that I wanted to talk about is within the presentation and details. Now you are presented with something called version layout details. What is that? What is version layout details? In the past, if you want, you can change the layouts and a component of a site using rules-based content. Like if you wanted to write a marketing rule and then hide and show a content. But now, you might be where the marketers can have like a 10 different version of the same page, but they wanted to show those 10 different versions in a completely different look and feel or something like that. And for a different language, it can be in a different layout. So you can show and hide certain components by each version. So if the site, if the page has, if the item, Sitecore item has a different versions, now you can customize the layouts and the presentation details based on those versions and the languages. That's one of the biggest thing. And I came to know from Sitecore John that this is something Sitecore MVPs wanted. There was a discussion in the past where the Sitecore product team was discussing with Sitecore MVPs and like, what is something that you want? Like, what is the most wanted feature? And this happened to be the one. And it's been a really game changer, I would say, like, because Sitecore developers now can implement a solution for the customers where you can change your presentation based on the versions of the languages. All right. Going back, and one other thing I wanted to show is the social connector module. Again, the social connector module is something that that was, again, it's powered by another product, but it's another module that comes out of the box. You don't need to go and look for that module and install them, but it comes out of the box. That integrates with Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and now like it has integration where you wanted to take a item from your Sitecore article and you want to post them into Facebook or LinkedIn, you can do them directly from your site, and this model allows us to do that. And if we have seen them in the experience editor, there's a ribbon application where it says that messages. Let's see if that shows up. Out here in messages where you can take that information when it shows up, you can post them wherever your kind of social model is connected to. And that's another easy way of like promoting your site to the social media right from the Sitecore platform. All right. Next thing I wanted to talk about, Sitecore upgrade. Again, this is a big puzzle, or there's a lot of customers who want to move to the Sitecore 8. And instead, we are doing a lot of Sitecore upgrades right now to Sitecore 8 because it's flashy, a lot of new functionalities, and it's out of the box. It's more marketer friendly now. So what are the things you have to consider for Sitecore 8? If you have a plain site, which is not a DMS driven, no analytics background, but you haven't done any customization to the core functionalities, you can go to directly a clean install of Sitecore 8 and then take a package from your previous version and install the package. And you can spin up the site pretty quickly. But some customers, you would have done quite a bit of customization to the core functionalities, where you would have created some applications, you would have created some page editor ribbons where it's all changing them in the core databases, and you have customized you inherit a lot of code from the master database. In that case, you have to go down each versions. Like if you're coming from Sitecore 6.5, right now we're converting one of the clients from Site 5, so we got to go to the 6.6 major, 7.0 major, 7.1 major, 7.2 major, and then 7.5, and then 8.0, and then now with Sitecore is on update 4. So the path of doing the upgrade, it's very, very time consuming. It takes about a day to do that. So that means that you got to plan your downtime of the current site. And one other big thing, I don't know if all the Sitecore partners or the developers know, is like during this upgrade phase, you can contact your Sitecore contact within the Sitecore and ask for a temp license. That means that you can have a parallel site that is running, and you cannot use a license, your current license on the upgrade site because it violates a license. So Sitecore will provide you a temp license where you can use that for your parallel site for like a 30 days or 90 days. And once you're ready to go live, you can just flip a switch because the downtime will be low. That's something that we came to know recently. So I would like the developers to take advantage of that. So, one other big thing that you have to do, think about going from 7 version or 6.5 to Sitecore 8 is the analytics database conversion. Now, all the analytics data is going to be in a collection database, which is Mongo. That's a completely different architecture, and you don't have any. If you don't have in-house Mongo experts, we have to create one or use third-party subscription services that delivers Mongo type of solutions. You know, Sitecore has a cloud edition where you can subscribe from them. That way, you don't have an infrastructure or anything, but you can use their infrastructure to get Mongo your Sitecore 8 up and running. Or you got to have an in-house resource who manages the Mongo instance. And within Mongo now you got additional servers, like you got to have a processing server, you got to have a reporting server, you got to have an aggregation server, each or additional production license. So that's something that you got to keep in mind. So when any developers or partners recommending Sitecore 8 to the clients, those are the things that you keep in mind, that there's a big architectural change that would need for customers to move from a older version to the newer version. And also there is something like a conversion of your analytics database into more Mongo. And that process depends upon how much data the client has. That itself takes 2 or 4 hours, or maybe even more than that, to convert all those data. So those are some things that need to consider when you're moving into Sitecore.